All right, we are up and running. We are back. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell, and we're just jamming right along here, jamming on the one for the people my age. Yeah, you don't know jamming on the one? No, my mother said that one time to me, and I really don't even know where yeah, I don't know how I handled that one. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to some fun stuff again. Excuse me, getting very choked up. So happy to be back. I'm all choked up. The changes to the program are this. We're not doing presidential politics anymore. We will talk about the auto pen today because that is definitely something that is might land us in a constitutional crisis. So we will talk a little bit about that. So these are things that impact your life, and this is what this show's about. It's about us just getting together and talking about the things of life and not nonsense. But I will keep an eye out and look out for you, look out for us, look out for our people, our tribe, our community, our state, our nation, and let you know when the shenanigans are afoot, so to speak. What up, Truman? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here. And let's see, what do you want to start today? Let's start with this because I think it's a fantastic thing to start with because I'm a huge Second Amendment guy. I'm a big Second Amendment guy. And I'm very anti-Gavin Newsom. Just right out of Central Casting, used car salesman, just the cheesiest of politicians. He's the worst of these. I could think of right off the top of my head a dozen Democrats, prominent Democrats that are more qualified to be the president than that guy. He just has the image. He's got that Kennedy vibe to him, and he's just, yeah. Yeah, and I'm talking about, Anyway, he's doing the podcast rounds, going on the conservative podcast rounds. He's trying to do exactly what Trump did. He's trying to get his name out there, which is smart. This is a brilliant move ahead of moving forward into the next election cycle. It's already begun. He's doing events all over the country, and he's doing these podcasts. California is a decidedly anti-firearm state. They just lost in the Supreme Court about essentially how they treat the firearm industry and those that have firearms in California. And here's Gavin Newsom on his conservative podcast tour, and my man gifts him a gun. Gifts, Gifts, not gives, gifts him a gun, a firearm, a California compliant firearm. Watch this, and how he sets it up is pretty damn brilliant. Check this out.
The airport. I'm on to you, man.
Everyday citizens carrying a gun reduces crime or increases crime?
I think the evidence suggests the opposite.
No, it does not.
Increases. I'm also deeply mindful and respectful of the Second Amendment.
Yeah. And am I going to lose my rights, when I fought for the country because somebody, that deems me unstable? Well, maybe I'm not.
Oh, geez, what do you got, man?
Here we go. Yeah. You ready for this?
Oh, Jesus.
Ready for this?
Is this an accident? I got to report this gift, man.
That is a California compliant 6-hour P365 macro.
Come on, man.
Okay, I have a P365 right here in this desk. I absolutely love that firearm. If somebody gifted that to me, I'd be the happiest guy in the world, dude. And this guy is... The host could have thrown a pile of snakes in his lap, and he would be more comfortable in this moment.
I don't know exactly what makes.
By the way, this is too cool. The fact that you would give me this,
you like that?
This up. So you just want me to TSA to take this from me, and my ass is arrested. The airport. I'm on to you, man.
Well, I got a buddy at SIG, and now he was like, "You got to get a SIG in his hands."
Make this up,
Jason.
brother. This is fabulous.
Yeah.
You know what? Last thing people would expect is that I respect this gift.
Really?
I appreciate. Yeah, man. I'm not anti-gun at all.
Yes, you are.
I'm for just some gun safety, common sense.
Common
that
sense.
I think vast majority of folks.
Okay, there's too much already said. We have to break down each of the nonsensical crap that he threw out. More firearms in we the people, the citizenry's hands, increases violent crime. There is not a stat you can show me. Not a stat. You can say violent crime is going up, and then you can put it to the jump in sales of Pop-Tarts in the last 3 months too. Yes, more people are buying firearms. More firearms are built every single day. More people are buying firearms every single day. As a matter of fact, the right people are buying firearms every single day. And it's funny. I see headlines like this all the time, and I see headlines that say like the LGBTQIA is moving towards firearm ownership. Cool. Hell yeah. I love that. I love the black community is buying firearms at a higher rate than good. Good, and good. We, the people, have a God-given Second Amendment right. I don't care who you sleep with or what color your skin is. Don't care. Do not care. Grab a firearm, learn how to use it, be safe with it, have fun with it. Protect yourself with it. That's right, Truman, fakery. Brennan, yeah, that is rather brilliant. I'm going to go with that. Maybe be brilliant was to actually be brilliant on the podcast and not do this thing with his shoulders and swaying and guy's got some ticks. I tell you, my dog has less ticks. It is a fact. He said, I think the evidence shows. No, it doesn't. Studies have shown. No. And to say that you are a pro-firearm, pro-Second Amendment politician is fakery. Like you said, Truman, it is. And that's why this is. He might be the savior of the Republican Party. Gavin Newsom. And I'm not talking about that Bondi dude or whatever in New York City. He's just, the guy's a character of himself. As long as the Democrat Party lifts up Gavin Newsom, Republicans are going to keep winning. This guy's a fraud, and everyone knows it. It's so hard for me to not see past that. And just play on a loop. His best friend, which was his campaign manager, had to come out and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I slept with my best friend's wife." Yeah, Gavin is a piece of garbage. Common sense is what I can wrap this story up with. Common sense. That's all. I'm for common sense gun control laws. Common sense. If you have to have your state, which you run, a California compliant version of any firearm, that your state has compliance rules that have to be met by the firearm manufacturers and the people, the actual U.S. citizens in your state, homie, you're not doing good. You are not pro-Second Amendment at all. Shall not be infringed. Last four words of the Second Amendment. Shall not be infringed. Did math on the fly there. He is echoing something that we, the people, don't like to hear. And say, okay, can someone say what common sense looks like? So if you say it enough, people will believe it. If you say the changes I'm making and the infringements that I am bringing onto one of your God-given constitutional rights, if you keep infringing on them, you're just. And this is intern Beans is calling right now, and this is the second day in a row she's called at this time. So give me 1 second here, and I will make sure that intern Beans knows what's up. There we go. Where was I? Yes, common sense. Common sense. You say it enough. Yeah, this common sense gun control. Yeah, common sense. Oh, yeah. We're going to take away AR-15s. That's common sense. Military styles, what they call that. Military grade weapons is what they call them. And when I say they, I'm talking about those on the anti-firearm side. And I'm not just going to say left. You guys, that's a new feature of the show as well. You just can't say those on the right, those on the left. I'm done with that noise. Monday, we'll kick off with my thoughts on us misreading the media. I was giving a lot of thought about this morning. Misreading the media in their intentions. I think we're giving them a pass. I'll explain that on Monday. But anyway, those that are anti-firearm will say, it's just common sense. It's common sense. We're going to get rid of AR-15s. Yeah, I mean, starting way back in Columbine to Sandy Hook, it's AR-15s that are the problem. AR-15s make up less than 1% of firearm deaths in this nation. Less than 1%. If you get rid of AR-15s, nothing will happen. And no, the AR does not stand for assault rifle. Dear Lord Almighty. Armalite rifle is what that stands for. Just so you guys are very clear. It's the 15th design, AR-15. It's horrible. Better off a paperweight. Oh, really, Truman? Truman, what makes them California compliant? What do they have to do to be California compliant? That's, I think, a good question we'll put in there. Common sense according to infringers. Amen, Frank. Coming out of nowhere. I love that. Welcome, Frank. Common sense. To me, it's common sense. Seems like common sense. My security team has all the firearms that I'll ever need to be protected. So, yeah, take them away from it, infringe upon everyone else. That's totally okay because my security team, governors have security teams, and all the Secret Service. Oh, always reasonable as okay. Always reasonable, AR. Always reasonable to have another one. Oh, they're fantastic. Beans has a 22, an AR in caliber 22, and see here, the 22 version with a silencer on it. It's so cool. Click, click, click. Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. You can hunt suppressed here in Arizona. So that is going to be a fantastic Wabbit gun. Absolutely fantastic Wabbit gun. Anyway, this was supposed to be a wonderful leg up for Gavin Newsom, and it made Gavin Newsom look exactly like it was intended by the opposite side. He's not comfortable around a firearm. There's no way he's comfortable around a firearm. He's not even holding that thing right. Oh man, no. You got me wrong. You would think I wouldn't appreciate this gift. I appreciate this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You got to win something called a primary, champ. You ain't winning a primary being on this podcast, waving a firearm around like this, going, no, I totally appreciate this thing. This thing's fantastic. No, look at this. The 6-hour P365 is a fantastic piece of firearm, by the way. Oh, man. The macro, the micro, I got the small guy in green. His name is Kermit. Scotty, what's up? Look at me. Yes. In Arkansas 15. Yeah. Look at that. Arkansas 15. Actually, would be a cool nickname for it. Yeah. Look at that. Actually, I have not named my AR-15. Arkansas might be a good, damn good name. I might steal that from you, Scotty. It's hotter than blue blazes in this room right now. Oof. Anyway. Let's get to something totally fun and absolutely out of left field because it's my show and it's our show. Excuse me. If Grizz is here, he'll correct me quickly. I am an unapologetic fan of Jeremy Clarkson. I've told you this. Clarkson's Farm, one of the funniest things on Amazon. Too funny. He in this show makes his beer out of his own farmed, barley and all that. Okay. And it's called Hoxton Lager. Hoxstone. They say Hoxton. And he's now selling it on a mass level. I'm very excited to try some of this because it just, I don't care if it's good or not. It's just, I've basically watched it since inception. I'd love to have some of this. The reason why I bring it up is because the power of advertising this way you cannot dispute it in any way. The millions of views that his first commercial for Hoxton Lager got was only because it was banned by the BBC. The BBC will not let it air because it has gratuitous F-bombs in it, and it's hilarious. They won't let it play. So because it is not able to play, and they knew, when you see this commercial, it's hilarious. When you see the commercial, you'll understand that traditional media is toast. It's done. It's over. It's over. You do things like that. If you do, Amber, we'll get to you in just a second. It's a little long to read, but I'll jump right on there. Give me a minute. We're finishing up some Hoxton Lager here. But traditional media is toast. Like, I'm going to make a commercial. I'm going to go buy it. It's going to air on CBS, ABC, NBC, and it's going to work. No, it doesn't anymore. At least not to the, oh, I tried to buy a commercial. I tried to pay for a commercial. It was too racy for CNN and Fox News. And that's how it gets millions of views. Here we go. All right.
To put into the spoken word how hard it is to make Hawkston Lager. So instead, I've put it into a song for some farmers to sing.
For me it's good. For me it's good. Fuck it's good.
I love this man. I love him. That's his part.
Hard to make, easy to drink. Easy to drink.
Hawkston is fucking good.
Somebody, I gotta find me a Hoxton shirt like now. Oh my gosh, wear it with pride. Oh, I do love that man. But it's a tradition's over. Like we just played Gavin Newsom getting gifted a firearm. Nobody would have known that if it happened on some CNN or Fox News interview. No one would have seen it. But you get these big backed podcasts, these video podcasts that have the backing, the advertising, the reach, and the millions of subscribers. And that's where the media is. It's not anywhere else. It's not. I was talking to a very close friend, someone I love very dearly, about one of their friends. And they said that their friend wants to go into basically television or radio sports media. Nope. It's not the way of things anymore. Because I'll tell you what the radio industry is doing right now, as far as when it comes to music, at least. The radio industry is taking one person, that would be me, and I would sit in a tiny little studio, and I would say, it's 5 minutes past the hour. Here's Madonna with Papa Don't Preach. Albuquerque, the temperature in Albuquerque right now is 85 degrees. And then I would change that. The temperature right now in Tucson is 105 degrees. The temperature here in Las Vegas is and I would change that last piece. And I would act like I'm the DJ in about 9 different markets. And they pay me half the price. And now they've got 9 DJs that they're paying one DJ half the normal price. It's going bye-bye because of this. The new media is completely different. Millions of people know Hawkston Lager now and are probably looking it up and trying to find it because he drops F-bombs in it, and the BBC said, well, you won't be able to air it. So he puts out a press release. I can't air it on normal TV. Here, check out the link. Millions and millions of views. I'm playing it. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. He's in the UK. And I'm a huge fan. Fanboy like crazy. Okay. Amber, if you didn't get the memo, I played a clip from Donald John Trump last week. I'm sorry, at the beginning of this week on Monday, and made the announcement that we're not talking about that noise anymore. And the topic on Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein and his flippant attitude about the Epstein files. How him and his crew just kicked 70 million people in the gut and didn't care, and is now insulting these people. And I looked at the left's reaction to it. The Democrats, the notable Democrats, the ones that are always in front of cameras, watch their reaction to it. And I was so disgusted by both sides that in other news should be other news. Fun stuff about media that we're talking about. A governor gets gifted a firearm, an anti-firearm governor gets gifted I think that's fantastic. But you did take the time to reach out. So can I'm going to go ahead and post this. Can we? Let's go ahead and do it. So I think you're saying the thing. Few Republicans might be happy to take their marching orders and move on from the Epstein files, but most of us weaklings and very bad people won't. We need to finally get the truth. Hey, Amber, we're preaching the same story, girl. Here we go. It seems very likely Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. If Trump isn't in them, he's doing a phenomenal job of making everyone think that he is. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That might be the case. Maybe just release the files. Exactly. So yeah, we're playing the same game here. You and I are walking lockstep on that 100%. Here's why I'm thinking that he's not in the Epstein files. If he was, it already been released. That portion of whatever file, that sheet, that chapter, whatever it is that as Donald Trump in it, then it would have already been released. I mean, look at the absolute nonsensical BS they threw at him legally for 4 years, 8 years. And you're telling me if he's in the Epstein files that they wouldn't release it? Please. Come on now. Yeah. But who cares? I at this point, we just have an entire Department of Justice protecting Israel and pedophiles. Wonderful. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Rhonda, you have not been around. It's not okay. I might play that Hoxton Logger thing a little bit later. Mm-hmm. Dershowitz has stated that Trump is, in fact, not in the files. Dershowitz is a chump. Dershowitz represented, but here's the deal, though. You say Dershowitz isn't a fan of Trump. He represented him. Dershowitz represented him. So I don't know how they're not pals. I don't know if Trump stiffed him or something. I know it didn't pay him, but whatever. Yeah, Dershowitz is a slime ball. That guy, he's on the Epstein file. He's on the list. He's been on the plane. He was on the flight logs. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Amber. I think you are going to enjoy the kind of alternative type programming that we will be doing here, and not just all this other crazy stuff. Let's get to the California fires, because that shouldn't be forgotten like we forgot Maui. Anyone got eyes on Maui? No. Nope. Nobody cares. Isn't that wild? But the developers do. The Palisades fire made, of course, a lot of headlines. Everybody, going crazy. It's not over by any stretch. Last week we showed you the one-stop shop, the one-stop government building. They had the sign that said "one stop," right? Nobody can get permits. No one can get any permits. So one stop, you can stop, but they're going to stop you in your tracks from building your home again. Did you see this from this week? This is no lie. Right there, same spot, L.A.
This dude just started the fucking fire.
Look at that.
You just started.
That guy right there just started
that fire.
Yeah.
There's a fire.
Because they don't think it's that. Hey, this guy just set that fire.
It's a.
You started that fire? You just came from over there. We just saw you.
You're right.
Oh.
And yeah.
Yeah.
You have the warrant for the murder, right?
What?
I don't care what you do.
These are houses, it's friends. What the fuck?
Yeah, get
You should
him.
be hospitalized.
Get him, Karen.
You are going to be fined and hospitalized.
Yeah, these guys swarming him, dude.
Wow, never a dull moment in LA. All the fire is spreading, and we need to get off this mountain. Damn it. Oh, let me get out the way. Get out the way.
That dude was just like, yep, I started the fire. Whatever. What up? What of it? Fake dudes. And this wild. This is what, by the way, look at that. One dude went over and set a palm tree on fire, just starting all this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scotty. Yes.
Nothing's gonna happen.
All right.
If that's 4 PM, he'll be out by 6. He has headphones on. He don't care. No, not a care in the world. Y'all, that's what happened. People were rolling around, whether it was nefarious, whether it was coordinated, whatever the hell it was. Sure as hell wasn't handled. That was intentional. But whoever said it was this, that's exactly what the Palisades fire was. People rolling around just starting fires. Remember that there was a group of people that were setting fire behind some homes, and the homeowners busted them, and they were released because they were migrants. Oh no, they weren't setting. No. They're illegal migrants. No, they definitely weren't setting fire. Nope. Unbelievable. You have the warrant for the murder? What are you talking about, dude? You crazy. But let's get, apparently, this guy was on the Hills, not the Hills. Was it the Hills or OC? One of those. As a man from Southern California, life is nothing like that. Just so we're very clear. Life is nothing like that in the OC. I moved here from the OC. Not like that. Not like that at all. Anyway, so him and his lady, both from the show, their house burned down. Here we go.
Asking about me suing California and Los Angeles. This intelligent person breaks down our lawsuit perfectly, so please enjoy.
That's because my man Spence has no idea what's happening. He's just a name. So somebody grabbed him and said, your house burned down. We're going to go ahead and sue some people. And he's like, yeah. My lawsuit. It's not your lawsuit, Spence. It really is,
popcorn, and you can see exactly what caused the Pacific Palisades fire.
We just saw.
Very clear.
Incentives, and we end up seeing the victims of the fires just get steamrolled. Fortunately, we have Alexander Robertson, he's the lead attorney, in filing this amended complaint against the city of Los Angeles. According to this filing, they believe that this was a rekindle of the Lockman fire, which ignited on New Year's Eve. This lawsuit alleges that they did not use thermal sensing equipment to make sure that the fire was dead out. The other issue.
Look, I'm not a firefighter, but I think that would be like that's in the first chapter of training. Once you put a fire out, make sure the damn thing's out. Oh,
that reservoir, the San Ynez Reservoir that services the Palisades, was completely offline. It was completely empty. This extra distance they had to travel past the San Ynez helipad led to an increase of 6.5 hours. One of the biggest bombshells out of this, LADWP did not de-energize their lines.
Nope.
Not only does it create a potential hazard for more ignitions, but it's a safety hazard for firefighters. They're not going to be operating underneath power lines unless they know that they're de-energized. The other thing is, they were supposed to have replaced all of these wooden power poles years ago. That work never got done, and we're left with those wooden poles, which
maybe they were doing it at the same time they were doing the high-speed rail. Maybe the same company. They're a little bit behind.
You can see, did not fare well. Allegedly, City of Los Angeles ignored its own brush clearance ordinances, and overgrown brush on city-owned vacant lots caught fire in the Castellamare section of the Palisades, which contributed to the rapid spread of the fire and destruction of homes. Allegedly, the failures of the City of Los Angeles were monumental and were directly responsible for the destruction of thousands of homes and loss of life in the Palisades fire.
Yeah, they don't care. Thanks, Spence. They don't care. The town is going to be bankrupted by something like this, or it'll just be thrown out by some wacko judge. And if they are, then the federal government has to step in, and they have to subsidize, and we'll all end up paying for it anyway. I believe that he is correct in the rekindling, the thermal imaging, and the power lines. I believe all of that to be true. But I also believe that I'm going to watch my words here, because I don't want to say coordinated, although I believe it was. Timing of the synced up, hell if I know. Timing of the actual fires as they started. It's like that jabroni, that slappy that's up there setting that palm tree on fire. People just walk around setting fire, make it big, make it burn. Well, again, whether they were placed there, whether they just wanted to, whether they're just sick in the head. Yeah, I understand they live in Southern California, so I mean, you get pretty sick in the head living there. But something will. I think that lawsuits like this, it's hard for me to believe that there was not lawsuits in the Carolinas for the FEMA, when FEMA was called off, so all those people just lost everything right before an election. And I think there was. It's hard for me to believe that there's not lawsuits in Maui. But at least this one's getting some steam, and I think that's why they have Spencer Pratt on there. Because maybe he can use a little bit of his following to keep it in the light, but I hope it does. But again, I have a hard time believing that there's no lawsuit happening in Maui, Carolinas, and in Los Angeles. Absolutely, just wild to me that these guys can actually get seriously. To get away with this. So they're getting away with it. What's that meme that Jesse from Breaking Bad? You gotta keep getting away with this. Yeah, it seems that they can. And again, I want to talk on Monday about basically how we're seeing the media and how the media is manipulating everything for us. I just have to have it. I have to get more thoughts on paper, but it's something that's bothering me. It's something that's bothering me in a big way, and it's not the standard. No, the left-leaning media, MSDNC, none of that crap. Like real thoughtful stuff, believe it or not. Rhonda, what do you got here? Her room in California is now offering homeowners money for their land rather than permits to rebuild. Amen. We've known that. Remember when Gavin was doing this? The first time we saw him do his rocking thing like this. Is this little thing? He was talking about, we're working with developers. Developers? Stakeholders? Why would you have developers and stakeholders in my house burnt down? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, Michael. I channel Sean because Sean is a slappy of all slappies. When I had my first black belt at 2.5 years old. Whatever, dude. Well, he loves him some him. Good Lord, does he love him some him? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, see, actually, it's a pretty solid segue because who's the I think she's Fox News blonde 7841 is his new girlfriend or his new wife that they were having an affair while she was talking about having Bible studies on Fox and Friends. Yeah, good job, Sean Hannity. When I went through my first no, never mind. Did you guys see the Coldplay concert? I didn't know Coldplay was still, God bless him. Coldplay, I love several Coldplay songs. Not a big, I'm a big Coldplay fan, but I like some of their songs, really do. I think they're fantastic. They're super talented guys. I just didn't know they were still touring. God bless them. I love it. And if you're about to see this clip here, they're not like at a casino, which is usually the death struggle of any band. Get paid, though. They sure get paid. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they were basically showing couples in the crowd. Oh, so bad.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
The girl on the left that's there with them says it all. Look at how red she is. Look at how red she is. They know. And watch this, too. I mean, it's just this.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Just called out from the stage.
I'm not quite sure.
Dang. Here's what happened. This actually, it's sad. Okay, all right. You know what? You make choices in life, and that's just how it went. But busted, disgusted, it couldn't be trusted. Yeah, Michael, but here's the gig, though. Boss man is boss man. He's the CEO of a company called Astrology Astronomy, something like that. One of the astrological whatevers. One of the astronomy asked me's. And that's the CEO. So dude right there, he's ducking down right now. He is the CEO, diving like his stock is right now, I would say. And the funny part about this The funny part about this, now I understand that, I mean, her husband, his wife, I mean, there's not a lot of funny about this, as it's now a sensation, a global sensation. She works for the company. Yeah. Yeah, like, okay, work affair, whatever it is. Okay. And these got emboldened and went out into a concert filled with people from their area. You're dumb. Okay, fine. She's the head of HR. Not kidding. She's the head of HR. She had to call herself into her own office this morning. Come on here. I'm going to talk with you. The CEO would like to talk to you when you're... Nope, sorry. Yeah, no. Oh, my God. She's the head of HR. Everything's unraveling for the two. It is, I mean, okay, you know, you can judge all you want. Glass houses and all that. We don't need, I'm not putting this on to judge these people because, you know, it is what it is. But head of HR and CEO. Oops. Their pages have been removed from the company's website. Yes. Yeah, and that, Brennan, that would have been a great move right there, dude. Just start doing the Heimlich on her. Nope, just do, yeah, she's choking. She's choking. Oh, the poor guy. But to get called out from the stage, yeah, dude, start doing the Heimlich right there. I look again. Life's about choices. I understand. You say good, bad. I made a hell of a lot of bad choices in my life, but these people just ruined, just absolutely ruined.
Oh, look at these.
Well, watch how far he just
right,
he's done. Look
okay?
at this.
Oh, what?
What in the? Not even turning around. I'm just going to turn around.
Oh, that's very shy.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
So there's something about a supply closet or something like that. But yeah, okay. There you go. We covered it with Gavin too. It's totally okay. Covered it with Gavin. We did cover it with Gavin. Did you guys see in Rhonda? I know you did. Did you guys watch the All-Star game? I watched the All-Star game not because, I mean, we had Clayton Kershaw. Seeing him out there and doing well was pretty rad, and having him mic'd up was so dang cool. That was special. And I really liked that. That was really fun to see. That was really cool to see. But ESPN can do what ESPN can do. Ruin any great event. Dear God. I have no idea what the hell happened to ESPN. I mean, they're trying to take on FS1 maybe or something like that and be just as goofy. But the home run derby with what's his name? And now, and they're like, no, dude, it's home run derby. Get up there, take some swings, and let's just go have some fun. Let's make it fun, because home run derby is always fun. And the guy that won the home run derby was his dad was pitching to him, and his little brother was catching. It's awesome. God, it's so cool. But they went and done messed this up. So ESPN decided to get some of their hosts in a panel and allow masked up journalists to ask questions. And I can't even, for the life of me, understand why any of this is happening. And God bless you, Zach McKinstry, third baseman, Tigers. Dude, so fun seeing you out there living your dream, bro. Just lives right up the road. Such a cool kid. Anyway, why would you pull this? Watch this.
The All-Star game was moved out of Atlanta in 21 because of a law that former President Biden described as Jim Crow in the 21st century, and it was framed as a protest. Dave, in the 2020...
Now, why are we bringing this up? Why in the hell we're talking about sports. We're talking about the damn All-Star game. You got to bring this into it. And one of the ugly reasons why we want to talk about other news in this deal. But right when she said Jim Crow, right when she said President Biden labels it as Jim Crow in the modern era, done. Cut her mic. Bye. Thanks. Not getting into it. Not getting into it. And ironically, they moved it from Atlanta that year to Colorado, that has stricter voting laws than Georgia does. And can we just stop? Jim Crow, talking about Jim Crow when it comes to voting is the same as saying somebody, oh, he's a Hitler. Oh, he's Hitler reborn. It's lazy. It's lazy. Be better. Jim Crow? Yes. Oh, yeah. Because in Atlanta, in Georgia now, you have to guess how many beans are in a jar to vote. That was Jim Crow. Jim Crow laws were sick, disgusting, racist, the worst. Right when she says that, dude, cut her mic. But they don't, because it's ESPN, and they think this is what people want to see.
One MLB Network special on Stop Asian Hate, you said, and I quote, "I think it's just being relentless with our voices. This is not something that's just an isolated moment in time that we're talking about. It's something that needs to be talked about an ongoing basis and be relentless with it." What happened to being relentless
This is a journal activism. I'm telling you. Oy.
with it? And why are we still in Atlanta when this is on books?
Look, and McAfee's like, dude, come on. I'm just a kicker. What the hell, man? I'm just an NFL punter. Why? And he's looking around. He's like, somebody throw me a damn lifeline. I have no idea why this is allowed.
I know it was hard to understand. We were actually talking about that. Can you re-say what you said there?
Yeah. Huh? They have a guy with a cutoff who was a kicker in the NFL with a cutoff jersey and his hat on backwards, answering questions on behalf of Major League Baseball and ESPN about voting laws and why we're back in Atlanta when those voting laws are still on the books.
There is a law on the books here in Atlanta that is a voter suppression law that Joe Biden has called Jim Crow of the 21st century. Dave, in 2021, in the MLB Network special, you said it's about being relentless with our voices and speaking up, and this is not an isolated moment, and it needs to be something talked about on an ongoing basis and being relentless with it. What happened to being relentless with our voices, and why are we in Atlanta when this law is still on the books? And it is a dangerous situation to be a journalist in Atlanta because Atlanta has detained the most journalists by ICE.
What? What the hell just happened?
I believe the question was a political question about laws that are on the books and everything like that. And the All-Star game was taken out, and now it's brought back. Interesting. I don't know if any of us are the experts or the ones that should be giving answers on that.
So shut up.
Respect and appreciate.
Yeah. Next question.
The way you feel about it, and I would assume that there was a reason or some conversation that was had by the MLB and the state that all parties thought that this would be a wonderful host city for the All-Star game, and I think everybody is all very excited to be back in the beautiful city of Atlanta.
Yes.
I think. I don't want to speak out of pocket for anybody, but I do believe with everything else you're talking about, I don't know if Dave is a lobbyist or Paul is a lobbyist or
just shut up.
Or Coach.
Yeah, that's why you get a big old bozo jock up there. It's just like, don't allow it. Just stop. The fact that they were having a presser, they're not baseball players. Y'all get what you deserve on that one. Y'all get what you deserve. Ay. And seriously, just cut those. Okay, dude, you want to talk about the All-Star game? If you want to talk about that? Or how about we talk about this? How about we just take politics out of this? How about we talk about all of the black-owned businesses that were completely screwed in Atlanta when they pulled the All-Star game out of there last time and moved it to Denver? Like, why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about just hosing these family-owned businesses, black-owned? I believe Atlanta is like 60, 70% black. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about how they're happy we're here? They're happy we're seriously doubling their profits right now as we speak. And everything that it entails, moving a Super Bowl, All-Star game, World Series, whatever it is, to a town. Yeah. Yeah, right, Rhonda. That's a simple answer, right? Yeah, look, well, he was a kicker. That would have been funny. Why asking me? I'm just a kicker. That would have been it. Poor McAfee, still hitting the gym. He's trying to look like he's, he was a real football player, and he was, I feel bad for him on it because he was like, I was top 10 and all-time kicking, and well, whatever. It's like people to watch ESPN. We just ain't watching ESPN anymore. ESPN just jumping the shark. SportsCenter's worth. I stopped watching SportsCenter back in the day when Linda Cohn, remember her? She's still there. Dude, she's 114 years old. Linda Cohn said it was that, they would always make up, some kind of comment that, the Dan Patrick's and and the talented people that were making up SportsCenter back in the day, Stuart Scott, remember he'd say like, cool is the other side of the pillow. And then what Dan Patrick would say when someone hit a home run, right when the ball made contact with a bat in the highlight, he'd be like, bring me your finest meats and cheeses. That kind of stuff. Linda Cohn said, you can do it. Put your back into it. And I didn't watch it ever since. Yep. That's been that. That's my ESPN story. That's my SportsCenter story. Okay. Is this a thing? I want to know if this is a thing, guys. Help me out. This can't be a thing. And if so, there's a guy that's posting it, and he's got a stethoscope on, so you know he's a real doctor. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Abe Lincoln said that. Yeah. Watch this. Okay. This guy. Oh shoot. Sorry. This guy. He's got a. I don't know if that's. I think it's just a button collar shirt or something like that. He's got a stethoscope on, so he looks like. So he looked like he's a doctor. Ready? I haven't pooped in a month. She says. I haven't pooped in a month. So she's trying this hack, the TJ Maxx hack.
The sudden urge to poop while shopping. Does this happen to you? Well, if it does, you're not alone. This is actually quite a common phenomenon where people enter certain.
Give me the name for it. Give me the name for it. This is far from pooping.
In stores like TJ Maxx, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, and all of a sudden they have a sudden urge to have a bowel movement. No. And this was actually coined the Mariko Aoki phenomenon and described the sudden urge to have a bowel.
Isn't that a DJ? Is he Mariko Aoki? Isn't he a DJ? Yeah.
Bowel movement when people are entering bookstores such as Barnes and Nobles. And it's hard to say exactly why this happens. There's some sort of sensory stimuli, whether it's the lights, whether it's the smell of coffee or fresh books, maybe some sort of relaxing place. But also on the other end, sometimes the excitement or adrenaline rush of shopping and looking at price tags also has a stimulatory effect on people. It causes people to feel like they have to have a bowel movement. So there are certain people that visit stores every single day because that's the only way they can use the restroom. And that's just wild for me.
Excuse me, sir, ma'am. No. This has got to be for customers only. Buy a book. Buy a latte. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Rhonda. I just looked it up to make sure that I was right in that. Why do people put an S at the end of everything? It's noted Barnes and Nobles. No, guys, this is not a phenomenon. This Aoki dude just got busted. And that's why he's labeled it as a phenomenon. Something like a phenomenon. That's why he labeled it that way. Because he gets dragged into Target, TJ Maxx, Barnes and Noble by his woman. And he's like, yeah, I got to hit the head. And he's in there playing Angry Birds, just in there on his phone, sitting on the throne, trying to pass the time and not, does this make me look fat? Yeah, that's why. You're pooping, and you're not. You're quasi-pooping. You're ghost pooping. Oh, that's the thing, too. Oh, my God. Yeah, you drive around. Got to drive around and have a stethoscope on. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to a Coldplay concert and somebody's going to be choking. I need to help out. Oh my gosh, but apparently it's a thing
to think about. But clearly there's something there. So if this happens to you, comment down below and let me know which stores trigger you to have a bowel movement.
Anyone my girlfriend takes me to, literally. Oh, what's the one she likes to go to? It's one like a TJ Maxx, Ross or something like that. I get so much anxiety in there. So much anxiety. The place, I got to tell you this, we'll get back to pooping. We have time for it. The place, the shopping carts had these giant poles attached to them, welded onto them. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I thought, and I'm being honest, I thought maybe it was like maybe it had like a little flag on it or something like that. So a customer, you're like asking for customer service help. That's a great idea, by the way. So whatever store this is that does that, put a little flag on there and a little customer service. Come on, I have a question about something. I think it's a good idea. Anyway, it's so they can't ram the carts through the door. It's a security measure. God, this place give me anxiety, man. Holy mackerel. Yeah, but there's no that this Aoki phenomenon is not. I mean, come on. And it might be. I mean, maybe every time I go into Barnes and Noble and I sit down to have a coffee, I'm like, yep, gotta go. Ponchos. That's it. Oh, I was trying to think of the restaurant. That was fantastic. Ponchos. Oh, the sopapillas. Oh, the sopapillas. Just keep that flag up. Hey, bring the sopapillas. Let's go. Oh, all you can eat Mexican food. Ooh, man. Let me tell you. Oh, ay. Yes. Rhonda, we just go. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go until we're done talking. That's really it. Got a couple more things to chat about. New ones be done. I don't know if it's gonna take an hour, maybe a half hour, whatever it takes. So we're just gonna go. Rhonda asked if we're doing 1 hour or two. So we're just gonna have fun. And then when I start to feel that, Rhonda, you don't do live stuff, but you do the pre-recorded stuff. That when you're talking live, there comes a point where the topic's gonna run out of gas, the show's gonna run out of gas, or I'm gonna run out of gas, or I have the Aoki effect and I've got to jet to the bathroom. Yeah, that's when the show ends, right? Yes. Thank you for being here. This is another news. Having a good time. Hope you guys are having a good time. Thanks for playing along. Love that you're playing along. Did you guys see this little worm that was on Capitol Hill today? Now, if you don't recognize him, this was a top White House aide, and he was called Jill Biden's work husband. That was his nickname. And David Hogg is on video, undercover video, saying that this was one of the few people that were actually running the show when Joe Biden was incapacitated. This guy right here. This was his time on Capitol Hill today. Listen to this.
Bernal, did you ever advise President Joe Biden to pardon his son, Hunter Biden?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Thank you. We're going to go off the record real quick.
Go off record. Off record.
Okay, we'll go back on the record. Mr. Bernal.
A few moments later.
Was President Joe Biden fit to exercise the duties of the president?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
There's nothing respectable about what you're saying, you little
Let the
weirdo.
record reflect that Mr. Bernal has invoked the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Mr. Bernal, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
Yep.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Okay, this goes on and on. He says the same thing over and over again. This is the guy that David Hogg has on that said on camera. He said, yeah, that's the guy that was running the joint. Him and Joe Biden essentially were running the country. And okay, the reason why I bring this up, again, we're not going to do the Trump and Biden and this and that, but there is a constitutional crisis that is brewing, and we have to know how far down this rabbit hole we the people are willing to go. And I said this back in the day about Barack Obama's birth certificate. I don't care if it's real or not. Don't care. You can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. A major constitutional crisis happens if it's found to be fake. So they slipped one past the goalie, move on. Move on. God, I wish the Obamas would move on too. Son of a, that podcast keeps popping up and I'm like, oh, it's awful. This auto pen deal is something we all got to think about. It's a lot like the Epstein files. It's like, do we really want to know? I do, for one. I want to know about the auto pen. I want to know about birth certificate. I want to know, but I don't know if we can handle it as a country, y'all. I don't know if we, the people, are strong enough at this point, unified as much enough at this point, and maybe I'm buying into the media hysterics and hype about it, but I don't know if we're strong enough as a country to say, okay, this twerp and Joe Biden were running the country illegally, unconstitutionally. I mean, they're even talking about this auto pen thing. They're talking about some, little kickbacks. Oh, how about a little bit of dough for that? And they were just throwing those pardons out like crazy. There's one pardon that Joe Biden said. This is common knowledge. You can look it up. There's one that he signed, and you can tell because it looked like third graders signed it, was Hunter's. He signed Hunter's. So here's how we fix this, especially with this little twerp weasel. Here's how we fix it. You pardon him. I know it sounds funny, but the minute that President Trump pardons this man, he can be called back to Congress, put under oath, and he no longer has the protection of the Fifth Amendment. You can't plead the Fifth if you're pardoned, because the Fifth Amendment protects you from self-incrimination. If there's nothing to incriminate you on because you've already been pardoned, pre-pardoned, I forget the term they were using for it. You got to answer the questions. You have to answer the questions. And we're going to have to, there's two things you don't want to see made sausage in the law. You've heard it. We're going to have to do some ugly crap if we want answers. And I think when it comes to Epstein, when it comes to these twerps, I think the power of the pardon is the only way through this. And by the way, I don't understand why we're not subpoenaing Fauci and Hunter Biden right now. Why? They're pardoned. They cannot say. They have to answer the questions. Oh, interesting. Better rebuild the integrity of the continue the. Hey. Here. I'm with you. The strength, though, you know what I mean? That's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. And the only way out of it, I think, is the power of the pardon. Really. I think about this. How many congressional hearings in my 17 years of doing this, how many congressional hearings have we played audio from, video? How many complete segments of radio did we do on something that happened in a congressional hearing? Now you think about that very high number. And then give me the very low number, which the true answer is 0. What happened after these hearings? To anyone that got busted in these hearings? Nothing. So if we're going to get nothing from this twerp, and I keep saying twerp. If you missed him, here he is, dude. Come on. I was actually, because they called his nickname was Joe Biden's work husband. You can take the. I actually was embarrassed for Jill.
Unelected official.
Yeah, unelected official. Yeah. He is an unelected official, but he was running the country. But the only way we can get little twerps like that to speak is to pardon them. And if we can pardon one out of the hundreds, okay. I think that's a fair deal. He's not going to get, nothing's going to happen to him as it stands. Nothing will happen to this man. Nothing. This man participated in one of the biggest cover-ups in our nation's history. And if it does come to light, will be one of the biggest constitutional crises we've ever had to deal with as a nation. So he knows he's protected by that. He knows there's cracks in the dam, but he knows that dam's going to hold, at least for his days. The only way out of it is to be like, okay, here you are pardoned of all things that you did in the White House or Oval Office or Otto Pen or whatever the hell it is, dude. Here you go. And we'd like to see you back in front of Congress, sworn in Monday by 9 a.m. We'll see you then. Wow. Another thing with the Otto Pen. Do we not have cameras in the White House? Obviously we didn't see where Hunter threw his coke in the little cubicle, but dude, really? Do we not have cameras? Who was using the Otto Pen? Why do we not know this? I think that's bigger than Epstein. We're talking about an entire nation. Yeah. But where the hell are the cameras? Who was using the Otto Pen? Who hit the go button? Who put the document into the machine? Who did that? They can't auto pen Trump's signature. Holy hell. Just keeps going. Oh, Lord. When are you going to stop? Then no thing. There we go. So we'll keep you posted on that. That was something I saw this morning that I was thinking, man, that's kind of crazy. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling here. I'm a huge Mike Rowe fan. I hope you guys are Mike Rowe fans as well. If you don't know who Mike Rowe is, he was a former host of Dirty Jobs and the voice narrator for Deadliest Catch, and he is a huge advocate for trade jobs, blue collar jobs. And what he is throwing out here is so spot on when it comes to, remember that, again, we're not popping off on different administrations, but remember when people were losing their blue collar jobs in the oil industry and they were told to learn how to code? Learn how to code. Have a great job, new green economy. You're going to learn how to code. You're going to all this automation, and you're just going to learn how to code. That was their line. Learn how to code. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Rowe.
Telling kids for 15 years.
By the way, he studied opera. I would love to hear that man sing, dude. His voice is the best ever.
To code. Learn to code, we said. Yeah, well, AI is coming for the coders.
Yep.
They're not coming for the welders. They're not coming for the plumbers. They're not coming for the steam fitters or the pipe fitters or the HVAC. They're not coming for the electricians. You know, that Ideas Festival I was telling you about in Aspen, I sat there and listened to Larry Fink say we need 500,000 electricians in the next couple of years.
Yep.
Not hyperbole. This is me being the alarmist again. There's not a week that goes by in my humble little foundation.
Okay, well, I'll get back to your humble foundation here. He was in a quartet. I want to hear that. That would be fantastic. Yes. Oh, he was on the Home Shopping Network too? God, we should do a whole show on the Home Shopping Network, dude. What an absolute enterprise that is. Holy cow. All right, here we go.
It's called MicroWorks. Shameless plug. We award work ethic scholarships every year, right, to kids who want to learn a skill that's in demand. These are trade school scholarships. Not a week goes by where I don't get a phone call from somebody like the Blue Forge Alliance, who oversees our maritime industrial base. That's 15,000 individual companies who are collectively charged with building and delivering 3 nuclear-powered subs to the Navy every year for 10 years, right? 2 Virginia, 1 Columbia class. Mind-bogglingly complicated. This guy calls and says, we're having a hell of a time finding tradespeople. Can you help? I said, I don't know, man. It's pretty skinny out there. How many do you need? He says 140,000.
140,000.
140,000. Now, granted, over 7 years, but they need 80, 90,000 right now.
Right now.
These are our submarines, folks, right? Things go hypersonic, little sideways with China, Taiwan, whatever. Our aircraft carriers are no longer the point of the spear. They're vulnerable. Our submarines matter. And these guys have a pinch point because they can't find welders and electricians to get them built. Where are they? They said. We've looked everywhere. Do you know? I said, yeah, I know where they are. They're in the 8th grade, man. They're in the 8th grade. And the same thing, the automotive industry needs 80,000 collision repair and technicians. Energy, I don't even know what the number is. I hear 300, I hear 500,000 everywhere. So, not to filibuster, but that's the underlying thing that I just really hope people take from this conference. There is a clear and present freak out going on right now. I've heard from 6 governors in the last 6 months. I've heard from the heads.
Okay, you get the point. You get the point. He's got a couple more minutes. I'll listen to him all day. Don't you? I was like, listen to Vin Scully or Jeremy Clarkson. That, yeah, push trade schools as much as you push college. Why? The last thing, now let's flesh it out. I would like to flesh it out with you. So, if we push trade schools, which we should, like I am telling intern Nuge, I don't really care if you go to college. As a matter of fact, I'm encouraging you not to. Military or trade, both, and have your life set forever, ever. And it's hard. His cousin was a Flynn scholar. His sister's going to get her master's by the time she should have her regular, bachelor's degree. So, I mean, he's got like, he kind of wants to keep up the academics, but anyway. But I'm encouraging him to do that. So we push, if we push trade schools like I'm pushing that for Nuge, then the popularity of trade schools increase, which it should. We hope, we want. The price of trade schools increase, which you don't want. The government starts giving trade school loans, and then that's the way you get it. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I can hear, I don't care who's president at the time, I could hear some sort of press conference about this garbage. We need 2 million blue-collar jobs in HVAC and electrical and pipe fitters and diesel fitters and bikini fitters, and we need these jobs. So we, as the government, are now securing $50 billion in student loans for trade schools. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how we get into the same financial trouble we are in with colleges and student loans. Keep coming at it. Your son can do framing and drywall. That's cool. Window installment, you work anyway. Yeah, hell yeah. It's always work. Always work. My grandfather always told me this. He said you have you keep your truck and your driver's license. You have those two, you can always make money. It's true. Helpers and taught in the trade, so they got paid to learn. Yeah. We have Westmec right out here in the West Valley. You graduate high school with a trade degree, with a trade certificate. How awesome is that? We have, and this is just decades of it. Go to college, earn your degree. For what? For what? To be a barista? Yeah, knocking baristas. It's just, I don't think that's what you spend 4 years in college for. And the people that I know are baristas that are supporting themselves through school, they're going into a trade like nursing or something like that. That's going to be this is going to be a job for them, not some underwater basket weaving nonsense. But people like Micro, organizations like MicroWorks, they can save it. They will save it, and we can, as a show, we can as a group, we can encourage the younger gen to just learn a trade. And there ain't nothing wrong with the military. Speaking of submarines, I mean, that's what my nephew does. My nephew-in-law went into the Army. He's now in the reserves. And he has all of those benefits. They're paying for his school, and he's working in General Dynamics on submarine guidance systems, for the love of God. I mean, that kid's set for life. He's set for life. It's cool, but he's still going to college, but he's doing it I would call now the right way. Really, it's go to the military and use GI Bill to get your college paid for, or it's go into a trade school. I think those are the two top options right now. The two, I would say at least, are the two top options. And Rhonda, like I said, when we run out of gas, we run out of gas, and we ran out of gas. In other words, I feel like I just walked into Barnes and Noble. Anyway, thank you. We'll do Go Show tomorrow, FAFO Friday. A lot of good stuff, a lot of fun stuff. Already ready to go and loaded up for the show. So we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you hanging out. It's been fun, and we will chat with you mañana. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.